Miss Jennifer Cobb is the CEO of Gateway to a Cure, and she is also alumni Super Bowl cheerleader. Yay!
Woo!
Yay! I'm so excited for you.
I
So,
am too.
welcome to the Nikki Rich Show. It's your first time here. I mean, we have so much to talk about.
I know, right? I'm like, okay, this is going to be a fun girl talk. Woo! I like girl talk.
Yes, I do too. I'm so excited. Now, tell us, Miss Jennifer, I mean, how did you come up with Team Gateway to a Cure?
Oh, gosh, what a great question. So let's go back a few years. My dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's
Mm,
right around the same time Michael J. Fox went public with his disease.
hmm.
And my cousin and I, Jody, decided that we wanted to do something more for Parkinson's and awareness. So we started a 5K called Soul to Soul, SOULTOSOLE. And it was really successful. We worked really hard and raised quite a bit of money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation through our efforts. And so Michael in New York City every year has a VIP awards banquet and honored us for our efforts, raising
Wow.
quite a bit of money for him. And so over the years, there was something more pulling at my heart to
Hmm.
do a little bit something different. You know, there's a lot of 5Ks, a lot of walks, and those are
Yes.
all great. But I wanted to do more fun, put more fun into the fundraising. So I presented a couple of ideas to the Fox Foundation, and they actually gave me the name Team Gateway to a Care.
Yes.
And so
Wow.
I
That is
ran with it because that's
huge.
my personality. I
Yeah.
looked to a number of people here in St. Louis that I look up to be on my board. I established a 501c3 and had a local artist actually design the logo that I created. And we announced the board of directors to the media. We had an unveiling of the logo, and Team Gateway to a Cure was born. And so
Yes.
now,
I love it.
yeah, we're 5 years old, Nikki.
That is huge to me.
Yeah.
Wow. And to partner with so many amazing organizations like Michael J. Fox, you can't get no better than that because, a lot of times also we might not know much about Parkinson, and now your organization is here, y'all educating us, just giving us all the information we need.
Yeah, and it's really great. So my platform, as you recognized during your introduction, was coming off the NFL field as a Rams NFL cheerleader, and so I was part of the team during this greatest show on turf
Yes.
when Mrs. Frontieri brought them from LA to St. Louis. So inaugural season up to Super Bowl. So I was part of Dick Vermeil's team and Marshall Falk and Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, NFL. He's going to be recognized in Canton, Ohio for Hall of Fame, which we're really
Wow.
excited about. So he's one of the
Yes.
members. And Kurt Warner, it was amazing to be a part of the team. Um, but I wanted to come off the field, as many of the players do, and use that platform to cheer on, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, others that are going through the same thing that I may be going through or my father may be going through. And so the other side of the disease that many people do not talk about, and that's the silent partner behind the scenes, the ones at home, making sure their loved one gets their food in their tummy, their medicine, tucks them into bed, gives them baths, change their bedding, and it's the caregiver. And
Yes.
so when I watched my mom do that day in to day out and never complaining and never not being there for my dad, I knew that my heart was pulling me in a different direction, and it was to
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie Ali, Mohammed's widow. And after I met Lonnie, she was so encouraging to give me a really, really good insight to what Mohammed's legacy stood for. And
Yeah.
because of Mohammed's doctors, his wife, his children, and all of his friends, Mohammed was able to really, really manage his Parkinson's. But at the same time, those people, the caregivers, the support, gave him hope and comfort while he battled the disease. And so, after being invited by Lonnie to sit at her table during Mohammed's doctor's retirement, it was really interesting, Nikki, to hear how blessed this man was, that it really does take a team effort, teamwork, and that word means so much, because at the end of the day, when everybody's at home and they're about their own life, and the telephone's not ringing and the door's not knocking and people aren't reaching out, who's left? The
Who's left?
caregiver and the person going through the disease. And so oftentimes those caregivers go through a lot of struggles. They
Mm-hmm.
have depression, they have anxiety, they have this, financial burden. If you're a low income senior, they have issues that people don't talk about because they're supposed to be this God Junior, stand up on a hill and take it all and try to do it all and never complain and cry. And so
Mm-hmm.
now the insurance companies are recognizing caregivers as the second patient. And so they're reinforcing these support programs. And so thank goodness for the Muhammad Ali Legacy Care Program, that they are able to now give support through telemedicine now that we're at home because of COVID, through people coming over to the house, through support programs that you log on through the internet, through conversation like you and I are speaking. Thank
Yes.
goodness for technology. And because of all of those efforts, the caregiver now feels like you and I, like we're invincible, like we can do
Mm-hmm.
it. And there is no prize or trophy at the end of their day to be the greatest caregiver in the world. Because if there was, I'm telling you, my mom's going to get it. I know it. At the end of
Yes.
her day, she's going to get it. Or at the end of the year. Maybe there's an award ceremony because my mom I'm going to nominate. Because I'm telling you, she is the number one caregiver in my eyes, and I'm sure to many others.
Yes.
As all of your listeners and many of your fans know, they too feel the same. They feel like,
Mm-hmm.
I've given so much of my heart, my soul, and my time to my loved one. And so I want to be recognized. And what does that mean? We have a support group. I want to hear your story. Let's support others throughout the world.
And I see we got some comments here. Seabird's production says, I'm struggling, boy. That was so inspirational. Yes, it is. And I see
Oh,
we
thank you
listen,
so much, Angela. Is it Angela? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Angela.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and 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 Seed Burris Productions. I do want to say, moms are awesome. Yes, moms are awesome, and moms, every one of us in our own right, is a caregiver. I'm a mother to three. I'm a single mom. I love my father. I'm a caregiver to
Mhm.
myself as well. Like, where does Jen go at the end of her day when she's tucked all three of those little monkeys in bed and kissed my dad on the forehead and made all my phone calls to everyone that's a part of my life? And I got to take care of myself so I can be the best.
Mhm.
Like, Nikki, what's your
And be
formula at
strong.
the end of your day? What does
Mhm.
Nikki do? What is her formula? How does she recover? Where does she go to be the best for her so that she can be the best for others? And so
Yeah.
it's really, really important that we recognize how important ourselves, to care for ourselves, but also to others. Caring for others people too is very important.
I see we got the Von Boozer twins here too. Shout out to you guys. New York in the house.
Uh,
Now, how do you, keep going? What inspires you to keep pushing and, be stronger to keep this organization, to keep going and pushing?
Yeah, I think it's just that tenacious passion each one of us have when we lift ourselves off the bed and put our feet on the floor. What is your
Hmm.
drive? What drives you? And
Yes.
the one that separates those that don't drive and those that do is fear. And I kind of take fear out of the equation, because a great example is like, Jen, so how did you become an NFL cheerleader? Well, here you go. Here's the story. Miss Jen, me, I was not the strongest dancer. My background was cheerleading. And yes, it was college,
Mhm.
stunting, acrobatics. And as you know, in the NFL, we are performers. Performers, we dance.
Yes.
Not, you don't see the cheerleaders on the side of the sidelines tossing and basket tossing and doing all these gymnastic moves and high kicks. Mrs. Frontieri, also a little background about her, she was a Vegas showgirl. And so she
Wow.
had a huge background in dance. And
Mhm.
so she was very particular about her girls that she selected. And so, being that I did not have a strong background in dance, I heard on the radio coming home from work one day that Mrs. Frontieri was holding auditions, open auditions for the the 40 girls that would represent the St. Louis Rams in the inaugural season. And I thought, you know what? There is no way. I mean, I'm okay dancer, but you know what? I'm going to go for it. And if I walk in that room and make a friend and have a great time, good for me, right? I mean, right? That's all that can happen. And so that's kind of how I live my life. I, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, you know? And I kind of lived that motto, that passion, driving Team Gateway to a Cure, driving things that I may not know. I'm not good at I'm not the best at a lot of things. Like, I'm not really, really good. I was not the strongest dancer, but I also knew what it took to secure my place on the line on the field. And I had many, many, many conversations with the director of entertainment, who's Keely Fimbres, who was my boss, who worked for the Rams, as you know, as well as the cheerleaders, but she was
Mhm.
above me. And she said, Jen, you need to work, man. You've got to go behind the scenes, and you've got to work on your kicks. You've got to work on your spacing, your presentation, your move, your head rolls. I mean, just all of the things that go into that performance.
The
And there,
performance.
make no mistake about it, there were many times I would cry myself to sleep. I don't have it. What is it about me? I just don't know. But the great example for me was learning through the years about Michael Jordan. Many people do
Mhm.
not know about Michael Jordan off of the basketball court when he transitioned from basketball to baseball.
Yeah.
And I am really, really great friends with his pitching coach, Mike Barnett, at the time. And a lot of people don't know this, and I'll share this with you, is when Michael transitioned off the court from basketball into baseball, he would practice with the team, and then everyone would go home for the exception of Michael. And
What?
Michael went behind closed doors with his hitting coach and hit another 2 hours. And no one ever knew about it because hitting wasn't his strength. He was not the strongest hitter on the team, but he knew what his weakness was. But he didn't allow that weakness to stop him from his passion in life. Because
Wow.
if you do that in your life and allow the weakness to be your strength, you will overcome so many obstacles. You really, truly, truly have to have that passion in your head. Michael Jordan, yes, he was the greatest basketball player. Tom Brady, yes, he is a great quarterback and has won many, many Super Bowls. But they didn't get that way when they were 16. They worked at it and worked at it and worked. And I think people need to understand that the selection process for a cheerleader is just as strategic as the selection process for an NFL player.
It
You're not
is.
picked truly because you're the best dancer or the greatest quarterback with an arm or you have the fastest 40-yard dash. The whole package comes into play. You've got to have you got to be coachable. You have to have camaraderie with other teammates. You got to be a man off the field, a woman off the field, represent that brand, that team, be able to have great laughs and jokes with your
Mm-hmm.
teammates. It's a teamwork effort.
It is.
And because of that, the Rams ended up winning 2 Super Bowl championships here in St. Louis, and I've been a part of it, and it was a wonderful. But Jennifer Cobb didn't make
Do
the
y'all get a
NFL team.
ring? Do you get a ring?
You do, yeah. Everybody that is on the is employed, that is a part of the Rams or whoever the Super Bowl team is, gets a ring. Now the men,
Wow.
the NFL, these big boys have their ring. Their rings are about the size of my head. Okay, I'm a little peanut, and you walk up and you're like, "Whoa, this is big." And then the cheerleaders have just a little dainty little thing, little peanuts, you know. But it's still,
But it's still huge.
it is. It's just it's an amazing accomplishment, and to be chosen not because I was the strongest dancer. I was coachable, and I was willing to do what it took in order to secure my place on the line. And to secure my place on the line for a paycheck is not why I tried out to be an NFL cheerleader. You do not go into becoming an NFL cheerleader with the mentality that you're going to get a big paycheck with the players, because what happens is you're not going to get bank from that. What you are going to get is something that's not talked about, and that's 20 years of a network of friendships that I have. And to this day, Team Gateway to a Cure wouldn't be where it's at if it wasn't for all the players and the coaches and the NFL and all the people that I met and friends
And
like you and I that
connected
I
with.
met along the way. And that network of people means more to me than, a paycheck. And I'm not saying that we don't need money. Absolutely. We do need money to survive.
Yes.
Is that really, really going to brand me? Is that really going to change my life? Am I going to be a different person because of a number on a check? Absolutely not. I'm still going to be Jen.
Exactly. Now, Jennifer, I just have to say this too. Your last name is Cobb. My mother's maiden, her parents, one of them was a Cobb. I'm like, we might
Oh,
be
really?
related. I said we
So
might
we
be
could kind of be
cousins.
related. Like, I mean, there's a synergy here, girl. Do you feel it?
Yes, I was
I
like,
do
okay, we might be cousins.
too. Yeah. We're sisters.
Yes, I love it. I love
That's
it.
great. Isn't it sisters from a past life or something, or different generation, or I don't even know. I'm so bad with
Look,
saying.
they always say sisters from another mother.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's it. See, you're better than I am about remembering stuff like that. That and
Yes,
numbers. I'm
I
so bad with numbers.
I am. I'm crazy. But tell us, with all that you're doing, I love, everything that you're doing with your organization. How do you balance out family life, and work life as far as giving back? How do you balance all that stuff out, running this organization and family life?
Yeah, it takes a really good time management mindset. And one of the things that I do live my life is I absolutely never apologize. Meaning,
Yeah.
I just came back from a sibling trip with my brother for 5 straight days without my children. And they asked if we can go, they can go. And I said, absolutely not. You're not invited. Nope.
I need a
No,
break.
no. You stay here. I'm running for the plane. Because Jen, I need to recover. Like, what does my recovery look like? My recovery looks like those moments where I can laugh and joke with my brother, reminisce about old times, and just have time to slow down my mind and really um, reflect over the things that I'm doing, things I want to
Hmm.
do, things that I want to discover. And so it's really important that you take time and absolutely never apologize. But then
Yeah.
there's moments where my head is down and I am all in and I do not answer the phone. My kids need 100% of their love buckets filled with all mom. I fill it and then their door closes. They want nothing to do with me. And I'm like, yay, now I can read. And so I just try to manage it to where I take these spaces out in my life, these chunks. And I know morning time, my children are swimmers. So we're out the door at 5:15 a.m. They're in the pool at 5:45. They swim for 2 hours, and while they're in the pool, that's Jen's time to work out. So I work out, then we eat breakfast. We eat breakfast as a family, and then they're done with me, and they're on their own for a couple of hours. That's my time to get myself together, answer emails, answer phone calls, maybe run some errands. And my kids are pretty, they're a little bit older now. They're kind of self-cleaning ovens, you know. They need a little dose of me, a little sprinkle here and there. But as long as their love bucket is filled with mom, they're golden. And you really have to look at body language and understand your children and really get into their minds. Because when they get kind of wonky, they start to come at you and start asking questions and become real needy. That's the time I just stop everything, no calls. I'm not interrupting. I have a one-on-one adult conversation with my children and say, hey, what's going on? You're not yourself. I'm noticing you're isolating. You're kind of keeping yourself away from friends. You're not talking to me as much. You're not eating like you used to. You're supposed to be training for swim. What's going on? Talk to me. Like, because I want to mentor them. I want to be a positive female influence in their life, as well as a mother, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also want them to know that it's safe to come to me, and absolutely do not be afraid to feel like you don't have it all together, because I'm living every day of my life. I don't have my stuff together either. And I laugh at it because there is no perfect. If you think there's a perfect in this world, I tell you what, I want the trophy. I tell you what I am perfect at. Nikki, I am really perfect at macaroni and cheese and peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Girl,
those are
I am going to get the PB&J trophy. Oh, yeah, my recipe is going to be on the Rachel Ray Show. It's going to be all over the world. I have the most golden peanut butter and jelly recipe in the entire universe.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you cooked your PB&J like a, what is it called? Like a, you know, where you put it on the oven and you fry it and you flip it and all that? Have you did that?
Oh, yeah.
Just like a grilled cheese.
It's just like a grilled cheese. And it is so good. And when the peanut butter is all creamy and the jelly's nice and toasty and the outside's just so crispy, my kids think I am the world's amazing, awesome mom. And I just sit there like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, I am so cool in their eyes right now. Like, I am the coolest mom, and I love it. Because I know as soon as they walk away, I am so not relevant anymore.
I know.
Now, I get beat out by the video games.
Since the pandemic, have they, I mean, I couldn't imagine being in, I know kids get hungry, honey.
I have two boys,
appetite.
I have two boys and a daughter who goes away to college. My daughter didn't want anything to do with me in high school, and now she calls me. She's like, calls me all the time, like, you're calling me for the 15th time. Like, what's going on? Well, Mom, I just have lots of questions. Like, where were you for the last 4 years? Now I'm just like the coolest mom. But, you know, it's interesting, though, because I think we do go in phases. And actually, that brings up a really good point that I wanted to address, is one of the things that I truly, truly get a lot of questions at me when I speak at these caregiver conferences is, Jen, how can we let go of emotional history from the past and meet the person where they're at who's battling a disease such as Parkinson's, concussions, MS, ALS, brain cancer, whatever the brain disease, or any disease for that matter. For instance, why should I take care of him? You know, I'm a single dad. I'm raising my children. I'm trying to start a company. You know, where was he when I was going through Little League football? And why should I take care of her? I'm a mother now, and I'm married, and I'm trying to raise a family, and I've got my head going in 15 different directions. And now, you know, she wants me to stop my life and take care of, well, where was she during all my ballet recitals? How come she never showed up? So how do you let go of that emotional history from 20, 30 years ago? Let that go and meet the person who's battling the disease, and how do you deal with that? And so one of the things I tell people, or try to encourage people to hear, is that person who's battling disease is not the same person who was raising you back then. And they didn't know what you know now. And good for you that you're not that way. And good for you how you can be grateful, know that, and become a better person in terms of showing your children the man that he could have or she could have been. And that way you set the example. And
That's the
so,
example.
And so one of the things I encourage them that are going through this is to gratitude journal. I always end my day with one word that I'm grateful for. Not one thing I've accomplished, not one thing that is cool to me. One thing I am truly grateful that happened during that day. Because I think you and I and millions of others take so much on ourselves in our
We
lives
do.
that everything has to be perfect. It's not. But there
It's
are
not.
some moments that hold you accountable to be grateful for during your day that may not have gone very well. And if you can have 2, 3, 4 minutes of reflection at the end of your day before your head hits the pillow and have that one word put down, you can go back and reflect, and you will be amazed at how much gratitude you do truly, truly have in your life. And it does allow you to become a better person because of it.
Even when you, if you take that, if you have that one word and you take that by your, by your side, have your little tea by your nightstand, and when you go and you have your little gratitude word, when you go to sleep, you know how sometimes you might even dream about that little one thing that happened.
Right. And if you go to bed angry, then you're grateful for anger. Good for you.
Yeah.
I hope your day goes better tomorrow. But
Hmm.
if you're grateful for understanding where the anger came from and know
Yeah.
where it started and how you're going to resolve it, that truly is a grateful moment for you as a person
It is.
because it allows you to grow.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. Now, what is next, Miss Jennifer? What do you got coming up? The rest of 20. See, we halfway in the year. What do you
I
got
know,
coming
I
up?
know. So you can go to the website, www.teamgatewaytoacure.org, and we have so many wonderful things. I have a documentary movie that I'm in the works of working on, um, and it is the life of Tom House. Tom House is the coach that every quarterback goes to. Tom Brady has been coaching with him. Every quarterback, you can say the name,
Hmm.
he is the quarterback coach. He will perfect. In fact, Brady worked with him for a year, and then the next year won the Super Bowl. Every quarterback will train with this man. He also has a lot of baseball in his background. He
Wow.
he coaches baseball pitchers. So he
Hmm.
is the House of Arms, which is the name of the documentary movie.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, Tom House has Parkinson's.
Mm.
And so what we're doing is we're unraveling his life, his story, where he came from, who he moved up, and who he trained, who he changed lives for, and who he's in even today changing lives of the youth through camps all over the country. But how is he changing his life? How is he managing? How is he staying grateful? How is he staying passionate? And through this movie, he shares his formula, how he's transforming himself and not allowing a disease of Parkinson's. In other people's word, kidney disease,
Hmm.
diabetes, COVID, all the things that come at us in our lives, to not allow it to change our person, our soul, our character, our personality. And he shares this insight in the movie. And I'll be part of the movie, not only as a friend, but also as a insight to my caregiving, as a daughter who loves my father, and sharing my mom's story. So we're working on that, and the release date is the week of Super Bowl. So we're really excited about that.
Oh,
And you'll
yes.
have many NFL football quarterbacks in the movie talking and sharing their stories about Tom. And then the other really exciting thing, that is exciting, but the other exciting thing is a children's book. And you can see it on the website. We're actually asking children from the age of 5 to 20 to share their stories on how they care and give hope and comfort to their loved ones. Because if you think about a child's, through the eyes of a child, their creativity and their passion and their drive from an innocent perspective, their stories are so incredible because they haven't been affected by society as long as we have, because we're older. And so sometimes the most simplest ways of giving hope and comfort come from playing a game of checkers, Uno, sharing a bowl of popcorn and watching a movie, breaking bread together and making a meal. And if the loved one can't participate, they can sit there and tell you what to do, how to cut, how to chop, I don't know. But just getting around the table and joking and laughing and reminiscing. And honestly, at the end of the person who's struggling's day, they don't want you to ask them how therapy, what's the medicine like, how's the doctor, what's going on, how you feel. They don't feel good, but they want to feel better by having and embracing your presence, by laughter and enjoyment. When my dad's sitting next to me and we're just cutting up, I mean, we're playing Uno and I'm beating him. I always beat him. He never wins. But when it comes to checkers, he always beats me in checkers. But I always beat him in Uno, which is great. But we have a great time together, and he'll watch me make food and make a meal, and he'll eat it. And he's in a wheelchair, so he can't participate. But he can sit there and boss me around, and I love it, It's just fun. We talk about old days and fun times, and just to see his laughter and the way he smiles, Nikki, it just warms my heart.
It does.
And when I see my dad do that, I know that that's my purpose when I'm with him. That's why I should be there. Not talking about all the medicine and all the doctors and how he feels and all of the stuff. He doesn't want to talk about that. What he truly wants to talk about is raising me and all the goofiness. I was a funny child, how he climbed trees and I almost fell, and fishing moments when we're on Lake Michigan and boating, and how he's throw me in and he's swoop me up with the fishing net. Just all of those fun stuff. And there's moments where we don't talk and we just watch a movie together. Or I just push him around in the wheelchair outside and we don't say a word. And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Some of the times that we don't even speak is when we're sitting around the table and we just do a puzzle.
Wow, that is just,
those
it's so
stories.
powerful.
It is. And so the children's book is going to dissect a multitude of different children's stories through the eyes of children like you and I ourselves, my children, and their creative ways and how they give hope and comfort. And I'm really excited. The book is called Cheer for Care, and the illustration was done by an illustrator overseas, and I'm having a co-author, a ghostwriter, who's an award-winning children's author, Jason Paul, who's going to be writing the book.
Yes. I love that. That is so amazing. It's so exciting, with all that you are doing. I know everybody is going to be like, do you have an email list or anything that people can get on, or they can email you so they can stay up to date and in tune with your releases that you have?
Everything's on the website, teamgatewaytoacure.org. You can go to all my social media. You can leave me emails. You see everything about Parkinson's, everything about caregivers. I have links to the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center. I have links to every kind of resource out there for caregivers. Michael J. Fox's foundation, Team Fox, all the things I'm involved in, podcasts, radio shows. I've got some really great interviews from
Yes.
New York Times that I'm going to be doing and working on here coming up, which I'm real excited about. So yeah, it's just keeps growing, and I think what's truly funding all of this is the stories of all the people that have come to me, and I'm able to use my voice and my platform to share. And I can't thank you enough for helping me and allowing me to use your platform to share my story in hopes to help others that are out there that truly need to hear this today.
Yes, that's what it's all about. We have to come together and, if you have a platform out there, definitely connect with Miss Jennifer. We got to continue to get this word out. We want to continue to share about Gateway to a Cure and, Parkinson and all the people involved. You can get involved too. You can donate, like you said, go to the website. This is what we need to keep going. We just can't create these things and think it's going to happen. We need support. We need help. You need
Yes,
donations. You need just, even if you're out there and you're an influencer, anybody, just keep telling others. Tell
absolutely.
others about it. Keep
And the,
spreading the word.
correct. And the donations, they can be left in, a form of an honor of. If you've
Hmm.
lost a loved one or in honor of a loved one, you can leave a donation in helps to other caregiver support programs. Um, I think you and I and millions of others in the world have had a little taste during quarantine of what it's like every single day for a
Yeah.
caregiver. It's very
Mhm.
quiet, it's very lonely, and they don't have people coming over dropping meals off. They don't have
Mm-mm.
people coming over and checking on them. But I think since COVID, the positive thing in terms of caregiver support is a lot of families are now keeping their loved ones at home and not putting them in homes. And
Yes.
depending on your circumstance, homes absolutely are important. I get it. But if you have the opportunity to stay home with your loved one because they feel more comfortable in the four walls of their home, seeing the family photos on the wall and smelling the smells of the kitchen and hearing the laughter of their voices and being able to come and go as they please with no restrictions, that is why they are staying home. And I think it's really important. The question to me is, Jen, we can't afford it. Okay, well, I'm going to share something with you. It's called the Family Caregiver Act.
Mm-hmm.
Many people don't know about it. And it's a caregiver act that helps people who are not able to afford homes and they want to stay home, that you will be compensated for your time at home. Well, I don't know. I'm not a nurse. I don't know how to caregive. That's okay. Insurance companies are recognizing caregivers as the second patient. So they
Yes.
want to fund the caregiver at home and keep them out of a home, outside, because it's more cost effective. If you do not have the skills or don't have the emotional capacity, you don't have it in you, that's okay. They will look at that formula and what's going on in the home. They'll manage it. Maybe you need two or three people to come in and check on you. Maybe you need somebody to
Mm-hmm.
change the bed sheets. Maybe you need telemedicine, the doctor every day. Maybe you need your support groups every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They will analyze and evaluate what your situation is, and if you live in the home, you will be compensated. Just like if you decided to have a child and you wanted to be a parent that took care of a child, foster parent, you get compensated through the state for your efforts, just like a caregiver. And so if you have any questions about the Family Caregiver Act and you're question, Jen, I don't know. I stay home, but I don't need the money. But my daughter really wants to be involved, but she lives, well, then maybe she lives part time with you or has the
Mm-hmm.
address that is located in your home so she can get some compensation to help offset some of those bills. But there's always a way. There is always a way.
It's
Kind of
always the
like
way.
Jennifer making the team. I was not the strongest dancer, but Nikki, there was a way, and I found it. And I made some great friends too along the 20 years along that line. But you gotta be positive. You gotta be optimistic, and you've got to be grateful for all of the resources that are out there for those that are going through it. and teamgatewaytoacure.org. Go on the website and you can read. If you don't want to read, just send me an email. I'll hop on a call and we can talk about it, and I'll guide you in the right direction. And my social media platforms are all on there, emails, and just kind of look around. It's a really, really great website. We're really proud of it. We just launched it a couple weeks ago. It's brand new and it's amazing.
Well, I want to tell those who just tuned in, we are here live with the CEO of Team Gateway to a Cure. Also, everybody knows her as Alumni Super Bowl, two-time Super Bowl cheerleader for the St. Louis Rams. You know, she got her rings and things. And, you know, I'm just so honored to have you here today, you know, and just to share about your organization. Like I said, you can go and support, you can donate. And if you want to book her to come on your show, definitely reach out to Miss Jennifer Cobb. You know, she is amazing, doing amazing, and I'm just excited to have you here today
Oh,
as our featured guest. And I want
thank
to
you.
thank you.
I am so honored, and so I was so excited to meet you, pretty girl. And I can't wait to get back together. We'll have another show, maybe do a
Yes.
Q&A, open
Oh
up for
yeah,
questions and
we gotta do
answers.
that.
I know. In my first book that gets published, the Cheer for Care book, I will sign and send to
Okay.
you. And we'll give away some of them to your audience members, but they will also
Yes.
be in hundreds and hundreds of children's libraries all over. They'll be on the website. And
Okay.
it's just a wonderful book. And of course, the movie House of Arms. Keep an eye out for that coming out Super Bowl time in LA
Mhm.
2022, which we're real excited about. But yeah,
And I hope
team.
to see you in LA.
Yes, I'll be there. My publicist has already got me booked. But yeah,
Yeah.
go to the website, find out more information about
Hmm.
Parkinson's or about caregiver support. Teamgatewaytoacure.org, and send me a message, a note, anything, and I'm happy to get back to you all.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for talking with the Nikki Rich Show here today.
Thank you so much, Nikki, and God bless you and all your listeners. And then again, if anybody is struggling as a caregiver or needs more information about brain disease, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, concussions, brain cancer, anything around mental health, reach out to teamgatewaytoacure.org, and I'll be happy to help you.
Definitely connect. Make sure you follow her right now, guys, on social media. Let us know that you were tuned in. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
guys.
much, Nikki. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank you. All right, guys. You were just listening to our featured guest. You know her as Miss Jennifer Cobb, the CEO of Gateway to a Career. Also, she's alumni Super Bowl cheerleader for the St. Louis Rams. Definitely connect with her. We have another show coming up, guys. So don't go nowhere. We are 10 minutes in and we got another featured guest. So I will be back, y'all. So come back in 10 minutes. Thank you for watching the Nikki Rich Show.